Hey everyone, today I'm going to do some commentary on my guild's first Algalon 10 kill. Hopefully I can help you get your first kill as well. So first off, Algalon's going to be neutral when you first begin. As soon as he gets hit with an attack, he's going to become unattackable for a little bit. If it's the first pull of the week, it's going to be like 27 seconds until the fight actually begins. Any pull after that, it's only going to be like 7 or 8 seconds. But that first pull, you will waste a lot of your pre-pot, so that kind of sucks. But indestructible pot for sure. You want both tanks pre-popping that. It's really important for this fight. This fight is all about survivability. You're only going to get one attack off on him, like before he goes unattackable. So just do a big threat ability, like Shield of Righteousness. And you can combo that with an off GCD ability like Hand of Reckoning. What you should do is like Shield of Righteousness plus Hand of Reckoning. That'll be a pretty big threat. I didn't do the Hand of Reckoning here. I should have. Here you'll see I pre-pot, I hit him. He goes unattackable here for a little bit. Pre-drop cons, pre-holy shield, and as soon as like that little starburst thing happens, that's when I pop wings because he's about to become active. I just want to get a big threat right at the beginning because he is going to, I am going to Hand of Salve myself with the glyph for survivability at some point, so I want a lot of threat to accommodate that. So pretty quickly here, these collapsing stars are going to spawn. Somebody in your raid is going to be in charge of killing these. They slowly lose health over time, but they do a lot of damage when they blow up to your whole raid. They blow up when they die. So you want one person killing them so that they aren't all blowing up at the same time, because if two go off at once, you basically just wipe. You do need to kind of pay attention to this too as the tank, because they're going to drop a black hole under them too. You'll see that in a second here. And also, they do a lot of damage, as I said. So two things kind of happening here. So there's a collapsing star dying right here, and when it dies, it drops the black hole. Anybody who goes into the black hole gets phased into the Shadow Realm. That's kind of brief. It only lasts like 12 seconds. Or when Big Bang goes off, you'll instantly get taken back out. But you don't want people just like needlessly getting phased into it. So just be careful on the positioning so that like melee don't just instantly get phased in, because like a collapsing star dies on them, black hole spawns under it, they just get phased in. So keep an eye on that so you can move the boss away and keep your melee safe from that. But also, right up here, we had a Cosmic Smash. That's another ability you want to be aware of. It'll do distance-based damage. So you really want to move like 10 to 15 yards away from that to reduce the damage. And anybody who's like caught right in it, they're also going to get knocked up in the air, so they'll take fall damage as well. So as a tank, when you're watching your positioning, you're kind of focusing on like 3 different things. You're looking at collapsing stars. The low HP ones, you'll want to move the boss if there's a low HP one near you, because you don't want that black hole dropping on your melee. If Cosmic Smash is on your melee or you want to move so that it doesn't hit them, and your melee are just going to follow the boss, right? Anywhere you go. And the third thing, you want to position him near black holes. Once this black hole is actually spawned, we want to position him near them so that when Big Bang happens, we can easily just, everybody, all the melee, they can DPS till the last second, and then they can hop in the black hole. Here you see we're all moving away from this Cosmic Smash and that black hole, moving back here. And as you're tanking Algalon, you're going to be taking a lot of damage, so just really make sure you keep Holy Shield up the whole time. If you still have Librum of Obstruction or anything like that, make sure you're keeping that buff up the whole time too. Just run your defensives as needed. Quick note here too, Phase Punch, that's another ability Algalon has, and that causes us to need to tank swap on him. And when it reaches 5 stacks, it'll send the tank into the Shadow Realm. Generally, you're gonna like taunt it at 4 stacks. our off tank was less geared. Andy was a warrior, so he doesn't have like Ardent Defender. So we were trying to maximize the time that I was tanking him. I would always tank him until 4 stacks, and then I would taunt off our warrior anytime I didn't have phase punch. The time we spent tanking was a little lopsided because of that. So here you can see another Cosmic Smash there, another Collapsing Star here. And these transitions are really, really important here. So at this 4 stack, you can see these living constellations are coming in at the same time. This is when they're going to spawn. It's like about a minute into the fight. When you're not tanking, this is going to be your job to deal with these living constellations. So at this timing here, I'm at 4 stacks now. Our off tank, Thalo, he's about to taunt it off of me. Really important that you're always doing countdowns for your healers before you're going to taunt. Otherwise, you can easily just get insta-gibbed. This is a really key part of the fight. He's about to taunt off of me, so he's doing his countdown. Anytime the other tank is about to taunt off of me, I always throw a Hand of Sack on them. That's going to help them survive a little bit during the tank swap, which is like one of the most dangerous parts of the fight, because the healers are switching over. They don't get to just pump into the same person. So you can see here, I'm getting Ray. I pop my Hand of Sack on him. He pops Shield Block. It's really good to use something like Shield Block like when you're in that tank transition too, because like I said, it is a very dangerous part of the fight. Immediately after I Hand of Sack him, I'm going to be picking up all of these constellations. The constellations, they just spam like an arcane barrage. We want to get rid of them, but they have a ton of HP. What we do, we actually just kite them into black holes, and that just kills them, but it gets rid of the black hole too. So there's a lot of ways to deal with this. I'm going to show you first like the most basic way. Just literally taunt and like kind of kite them in like that. This next one is something I like to do a lot. These constellations have a normal aggro table. I like to utilize the healers aggro on these to get rid of some of them. Your healers are going to be doing a ton threat, especially like Holy Pallies. They're going to be just pumping threat. So you can always rely on a healer ripping threat on these if all you do is taunt it and you don't like threat it in any other way. So here, I know this is about to switch to our healer. So I'm positioning a black hole between the living constellation and our healer, because I know she's about to get threat back. This constellation is going to go right for her, but there's a black hole in the way, so it's going to get rid of itself. So that got rid of one there. So now I only have one left. I've like barely been working on constellations, and now I already have one left. So that's pretty awesome. Off one taunt, basically, I got 2 down. So this last one, we're going to bring back here. You want to try to get the ones that are like far away from the raid. The current tank can like just reposition for Big Bang to a different one, but ideally like you don't want to have to make them move all the way across the room if you don't need to. So try to get the further away ones if you can. Also, at this point, we have 3.4 seconds until Big Bang's about to happen. So I try to be really careful of black holes I'm destroying when we're this close to Big Bang, because by this point, people should kind of have figured out which black hole they're going to be getting into for Big Bang. And I don't want to throw a wrench in that right before then, because when you destroy black holes that people were planning to use, that usually ends up in people dying. And if one person dies, it can pretty often be a wipe unless you have a way to get them back up. So here, I'm bringing him back. He did re-aggro our healer a little bit before I was hoping he would. I thought I might make it back here, so then he would just eat that one. But at this point, we're about to hit Big Bang. I just want to make sure that like our druid over here wasn't planning to use this one, and it's gonna like throw him off if I destroy it. So here you're gonna see me, I taunt it, but then I throw a Hodge on it. So I do this a lot. When there's a constellation still up when Big Bang's happening, I like to wait until Big Bang's like fairly close to going off, and then I'll hodge it to make sure it's not going in any black holes. It's not going to close up any black holes that we were planning to use. And when we get back out of the Shadow Realm, I can deal with it then. So here, I'm just going to hodge this. We're just basically putting a pause on this constellation until this Big Bang has been handled. So then a couple seconds before Big Bang goes off, we go in. And this is really important. When you go into the Shadow Realm like this, make note of where the black holes are. So there was one here and one here. You need to move off of that spot. Otherwise, once Big Bang happens, it's going to take you back out of the Shadow Realm. Once that happens, if you're still standing on a spot where a black hole was, you're just going to get put right back in. And we don't want that to happen. So as soon as you come in, you need to move off of any place that has a black hole. There's going to be ads in here too. They don't really need to be tanked. If people are being good about their Big Bang timing and they're just going to be in here for like a second, you don't really have to worry about them. You can taunt these if you want to. I generally just save my taunts to deal with the constellations or Algalon when I come back out. So I don't really worry about taunting these. They shouldn't really cause issues for anybody as long as people are getting in the black holes like 2 to 3 seconds before Big Bang goes off. These ads shouldn't have time to do anything really. And I should talk briefly about the Big Bang itself. So it's a huge AoE. It does a ton of damage, like 100,000 damage. You need somebody to soak it, because if everybody goes in the Shadow Realm, then you just wipe. Like Algalon just goes away. So one person always has to be present in like his, general arena. So easiest person for this is a Shadow Priest. They can dispersion every single Big Bang. That makes it really easy. Rogues can also do like Feint plus Glyph of Cloak of Shadows. Prot Paladins can do like Ardent Defender. Pretty much any tank can use like a damage reduction cooldown, though you'll probably need to use a big damage reduction cooldown and a small one to be able to survive it. But those are a bunch of possibilities. The tank cooldowns for it really work best if you're 3 healing this. If you're 2 healing it, it's pretty important to have those damage reduction cooldowns for actually tanking Algalon and not spending them on Big Bang. But if you're 3 healing, you should have enough healing that you can comfortably get away with that. So our Shadow Priest, he dispersioned that Big Bang. So now we're back into the like regular realm, and you can see my Hodge, it hasn't worn off yet. These constellations, they will like follow you briefly, like when you go in the black hole. So they can close it up behind you. So that's a really important thing to pay attention to. If there's an active constellation up and people are going into black holes, it will just like follow them in and like close it behind them. And then if they weren't the last person to go in, then it'll just kill anybody who didn't make it in. So you got to be really careful about that. That's why I really like the Hodge for these situations. You can see still 0.2 seconds left, so I'm still set up here to get an immediate kill on that constellation. Just easy kite right into it. So like I said before, the way we set up the like tank transitions on this was we wanted me tanking as much as possible. So my phase punch just wore off. So our other tank, he's actually only at 2, but I'm gonna be taunting now. And this this should have been set up way better here. So I should have been paying attention to the collapsing stars and noticed that one was about to die, because now I'm about to try to do a tank transition when a collapsing star has just gone off. We have our Warlock almost dead. We have the rest of the raid at like half. I'm not even topped right now. So this is a terrible time to do a tank transition. Don't do it like this. Wait till, because there's like no immediacy, right? He's only at 2 phase punches. There's no need for this. So set up your tank swaps better than I did here. Ideally, the whole raid would be topped. For sure, at least I would be topped. And so here I actually do the taunt, and I should have thrown my own Sacred Shield on too before I did this. And then our Holy Pally could put her better Sacred Shield on me when she was able to, but at least I would have like my weaker one until that time. So yeah, terrible taunt swap here. Do not do what I did here. This is not at all what you want to see here. If you are going to do a taunt swap like that, like let's say he actually had enough phase punches that it was actually necessary for this to happen, I need to just wall here. Like I need to pre-wall and then taunt, because I'm probably going to be fine with a wall, right? So if that for some reason does need to happen, for sure wall. I saved mine pretty late there. Since I was trying to tank the boss as much as possible, I was being like really stingy on my cooldowns and only using them when I felt like I absolutely needed to. We already talked about the mistakes there though. Like I for sure, if I was going to do that taunt, which didn't need to happen in the first place, I should have just walled there. I held on to it pretty late. As you can see here, this is a terrible spot to be in. We do not want to be in this position at all. So my wall has just been popped. I'm at 4,000 HP. My AD has popped. And I don't actually have Holy Shield up right now. So this is a terrible situation. Do not get yourself in this position. But luckily, the heals come in. Somehow this works out. But that was a nightmare tank swap there. Don't learn from my mistakes. Do not do that. So here you can see another collapsing star is about to go off. Healers did like an incredible job here. That was like such a terrible situation, because like it was like collapsing star into like tank almost dying into a second collapsing star. Do not put your healers in that position. And our other tank, he's working on getting the constellations in. I'm basically saving my cooldowns for when I like dip a little bit and then I'll like pop something. There you can see we're moving away from the cosmic. And I'm popping salve here to try to survive. Really important to have high Holy Shield uptime, like ideally 100%. It may not always work out because Algalon attacks fast, but try to have 100% uptime. So here we have another Big Bang, and I'm dealing with constellations. So there, let me go back to this. This is pretty important to see. So I talked earlier about like the constellations following you into black holes. You're going to see that right here. You can use that to your advantage. This was a little bit risky. These people all had like speed boosts of some sort. I figured they would make it in before this actually closed. I should have played this safer, and I did have my Hodge available. I should have Hodged it there, like I talked about before. That's a great way to deal with this situation. But I guess just spur of the moment, I felt like we'd be okay with me just doing this. So that is another way you can get rid of constellations. You can see it close the black hole, and I don't have to deal with it anymore. Now I can move on to this one. That was a bit risky though. Played a little bit safer, probably throw the Hodge there. So now I just got this final one I gotta get rid of. This one's a pretty easy kite in. If you do end up in a situation where a black hole is like right against the wall here, one thing you can do is kite a constellation over to like this side, Hodge it, and then you run over to this side. And then as soon as the Hodge wears off, you taunt it to like drag it across. Or you can kite one like over here, and then you can nitro around the black hole and probably throw a slow on it too to help you out. So like they are slowable, Avenger Shield. So like Avenger Shield plus nitro, you can like quickly get around here and it'll move so slow, it'll actually get kited in. So that's another method. Here, we're getting ready to do another taunt swap here. This is another pretty bad timing here. Again, learn from my mistakes here. Our Warlock was dead. Not everybody is like topped off here. This is like not ideal. And this doesn't need to happen. He's only had 2 face punches. So that one I should have waited longer on. I also didn't have Divine Plea up going into this or my own Sacred Shield. Again, like make sure you have all this stuff pre-popped. For sure have like Holy Shield pre-popped before you're taunting as well. So as you can see, the damage is pretty scary here. We were 2 healing this fight. But finally I have my AD up. My wall is back off cooldown too. Forbearance is off. And here we're just watching black holes. We're watching cosmic smashes. Watching our HP, trying to stay alive. At about 30%, it kind of depends based on your DPS, but at about 30%, we have our Collapsing Star Killer. We have them switch off of Collapsing Stars and just burn the boss. And we have our off tank just burn the boss as well. We want everybody to stop worrying about ads and just do as much damage to get to 20% as quickly as possible. All of the ads are going to despawn as soon as you hit 20%. So there's not a lot of value in like continuing to do those ad related things. And you can see in the Thames Week Aura pack here, we also have this awesome little phase 2 soon thing here. And when he hits 20%, he's gonna get rid of all current black holes and spawn 4 new ones. So it's really important that nobody is standing on the position where these new ones are gonna spawn. You can either bring him like all the way to the edge here or just park him like right in the middle to make sure nobody gets hit by that, gets hit by any of these. So right before 20%, I would do that reposition either like right in the middle or like really far along the wall here. We were a little too far up and you can see Kachi and Gats actually got phased here. I think from this one just like spawned right on top of them. This is what we're trying to avoid here. So we have a big bang here. This one was a little sketchy. So our Shadow Priest messed up here and accidentally went into a black hole. Our Shadow Priest, as you remember, is the person dispersioning the black hole or the Big Bang. Algalon will despawn if nobody is out here still. Luckily, my Ardent Defender had just come off cooldown, and that is one of the ways we can deal with this. Our Shadow Priest let us know, hey, I accidentally went into the black hole. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm staying out then. So I'm gonna just get it with Ardent Defender. And this was really sketchy because normally there aren't any ads out here, but since we had just pushed 20%, there were now ads out here. So I just got hit for like, you know, all my HP, and there's ads that can possibly whittle me down and kill me. Luckily this worked out, didn't quite die from it. And here, our plan here was that the warrior was gonna like taunt here, and then that would like free me up to lose all my phase punch stacks, and then I would be able to like tank the rest of the fight if anything went wrong. In the heat of the moment with like all the unexpected things that happened there, we didn't communicate this super well. So like I was telling him like I needed a taunt, but really it didn't need to happen immediately. We needed to set this up better, but we were all like a little frazzled, I guess, from the impromptu Ardent Defender thing. So he taunts here. This should have been set up better, and I should have thrown a hand of sack on him here as well. Possibly even just desack, or both. Just to make sure that transition went smoothly. Once you're in past 20%, phase 2 has begun. Out of these black holes, these ads spawn. So whoever isn't currently tanking needs to be picking these up. So That was a really awkward transition the way we had to do it, and with like the big bang happening like after 20% too. So this is like a little messier than it should be. Normally the timing works out quite a bit better. But I'm just trying to pick up ads, but I gotta be really careful here not to use Righteous Defense because that can taunt Algalon, and our warrior has like one of the ads on him. Here, I'm out of taunts here. I was using them a little too much on times I didn't really need to use them. So here, if you have an opportunity to just like use Shield of Righteousness to pick up a nearby ad, just do that. That way for far away ads, you have the taunt available. But I was just kind of spamming taunt, not really a good play. We've got our Discipline Priest. She's like way far away with 2 ads on her. The easiest play here, since I don't have taunts available, I should have just thrown a Hand of Protection on her. That would have brought these 2 ads right back here, easy. Instead, we get a single target taunt on one, and then she fades, it sends it to Kachi, and then I pick it up. That is a little messy. The Hand of Protection would have made that a lot easier. So here, kind of stabilized here, but I should have been paying a lot more attention to the tank here. So he's really low HP. I have a ton of plays I can make here that I should have made. So currently I have Hand of Sack available. I have D-Sack available. I have LOH available. LOH right now, perfect play. I should have LOH him here. And now that I'm like stabilized here, like I have all the ads, we're good. So I should have been looking to use D-Sack for him, Hand of Sack for him, just anything I can do to help him out. So whenever you're not tanking, always be thinking about what you can do for whoever is currently tanking to help them out. If you're the off tank here, you're just worrying about picking up the ads and whatever you can do for the main tank. Algalon dies at like 3%, so fight's over right there. You don't even have to get him all the way to 0. So that end part is pretty easy because there's not too much going on. Like the hardest part of the fight is dealing with collapsing stars, black holes, Big Bang, all that stuff. But you don't have to deal with any of that stuff in the final phase. That phase is pretty simple. Just if you're not currently tanking him, pick up ads. Just be thinking about what you can do to help out whoever is currently tanking him. That's the whole fight right there. I know it seems like a lot. It is, in my opinion, probably the hardest tanking fight in the game right now. So it takes some practice, and you only have a 1-hour time limit. So that really limits how much you can really practice this. And it adds some extra stress because it's like, if we don't get this done within an hour, we just like don't get to kill this boss for the whole week. Try to just keep calm, make sure everybody's coming in prepared. I definitely suggest before you start your 1-hour timer, you like just stream a Algalon video to like Discord, and your whole group just watches it together, and you like just go over like all the things everybody needs to do just to make sure everybody's like fresh on it and you can avoid silly mistakes. Because if you have like a couple silly wipes that like could have been prevented if people were just like watched a video beforehand, that could be the difference between you killing the boss and not killing the boss. So I definitely recommend like take a break before you start the hour, then just watch a short video on it as a group. Make sure everybody knows what's going on so you can maximize your time in that hour. That's the whole fight. I hope this commentary was helpful for you. Let me know if it was. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.